This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Well, my dear friend, we are here in our studio and we're preparing ourselves for our Finding Answers program this evening. As you can see, our studio is ready, our set is ready, and our guest has a very interesting testimony that she's going to share, a story that is going to really inspire people. Just imagine a person trying to sleep, put radio, put TV, sometimes both of them together, and still not able to sleep. And this went on for years and years in the same situation. She's going to share her story with you. Tell your friends, tell your family. Finding Answers is on, and they're going to be inspired. We'll be right back. Good evening, my dear friend. Welcome to Finding Answers. And tonight in our program, we're speaking about restless nights. How many people, they dread the night? How many people have had experiences with this? Because the truth is that everyone has day and night. There's no one that has only day and no one that has only night. And the night is a time when we're supposed to recharge. But how many people live in fear, live in dread? You know, they fear what they experience during the night. They fear what they anticipate. They remember the past and they live in fear. Tonight, our guest is going to share her story, and I'm sure it's going to inspire. Tonight in our program, we have Pastor Neil with us. Good evening, Pastor Neil.
Good evening, Pastor Emma.
How are you doing?
I'm in the faith. I'm here.
You are here. We are here. We are now 11 o'clock in the night.
Yes.
Right? And there are many people that when it comes on tonight, it's something that they dread, something that they have a terror, it terrifies them. Have you ever had sleepless nights?
As you talk about, I suffered that for many years. Many, more than 10 years, I suffered that sleepless night.
Yes.
I wanted to sleep. I worked throughout the day. In the night, I want to rest, to recharge, to go back to work the following day, but I could not sleep.
And did you go back to work?
I have to go back to work, but go back to work tired.
Tired already?
Because in the night, I can't sleep. Something was impeding me from sleeping.
But you overcame, right?
I overcame.
And tonight, our guest, my dear friend, overcame. Pastor Neil overcame. Do you know, Pastor Neil, I cannot say. I remember maybe once a certain situation was going on. I had once, but it was not something that I personally can relate to. But imagine, I can imagine this person, because just when we stay up late in the night, when we have to do things, when we have to burn that extra oil, when we have to do something, when we have a night vigil, during the day, we feel it. Your body tells you that something is missing. So just imagine a person that is going through this for days and weeks and months and years. Imagine that person. Imagine what that person feels. Tonight, our guest is going to be sharing her story with us. And Pastor Neil, do you know, in the prisons, those, of course, now they have human rights and everything, but among criminals, when they want to punish people, they say that sleep deprivation is one of the worst punishments.
Yes.
Is one of the worst. In the army as well, when they want to train the soldier to get that real toughness out of them.
He stays up.
It's the sleep deprivation that really tells a toll on the person.
Because when the person is not sleeping, it's like a punishment to the body. Because, for example, there are many people that they love to sleep. When they arrive at home, they drop the bag and they drop in the bed and that's it. Because it's in the night, the body is tired. And that's why there are people that if they work at night, they sleep in the day. Yeah. Because the body needs a time to rest. But just imagine someone for many years could not have that opportunity. I can talk about that because I suffered that.
You can speak. But no, I can speak about it because sometimes we have to spend nights without getting sleep. Proper rest.
Yes.
All of us can speak about it. I can speak about it from the experience that I have, which is not something that is prolonged. But imagine if my case, the nights that I have to stay up, the time that I have to really make that effort during the day, I feel like that. I'm just imagining those people that they spend weeks and months like that. Well, our guest is going to share her story with us this evening, and I'm sure that is going to inspire. What I would like you to do is to call someone, maybe now at 11, a few minutes past 11 in the night, There are people that they cannot say. Maybe you yourself, you're up flicking through the channel because you can't sleep. You want to find something to occupy yourself. Maybe you are there now and you know someone that is like that, a family member, a person, a relative. You are familiar. Maybe that person normally call you, maybe normally tell you which movie they watch because they're up the whole night. And it's that same routine. Tell them, let's listen up to Finding Answers this evening, because this evening they are going to be inspired and they are going to be helped and they are going to be blessed. Pastor Neil, I'm sure that this person now that is watching,
yes,
maybe going through channel after channel after channel.
And you see, for example, many, they try to find something to occupy the time, as you said, and they are going from one to another, and they switch to this one. That one is not working. That one is not, is not good. But you are watching the right program. And Pastor Rema, in case the person missed the last program, you can go to our YouTube channel and you can scroll down, click the link, put their Finding Answer, click the link, and you will watch the previous programs in HD quality. You can find us also on Instagram and Facebook. You can go there and also send your questions. Send your question. We want to answer your questions.
Yes.
Because when you send your questions, we can help you a lot.
There's a section soon that we're going to be answering this first question. So please send us your question, my friend. Maybe you have question. How can I? We have people that have been connecting with us, but send yours. Maybe you have been watching us a long time and you feel like you are there and we are here. You feel like the guest is someone else. No, the guest was a person like you also. I am a person like you. We went through similar situation that you went through problems, went through difficult situation. And we are here because we overcame, and we are here to help you to overcome. So please, get in touch with us. If you'd like to call us, you can call 020-7686-6300. That's the number that you can call now, and someone is going to get in touch with you. Or if you want to send an email, you can do help@findinganswers.tv, addressed to myself, Pastor Raymar, to Pastor Neil, or Pastor David is not here with us. We are normally together, but feel free, my friend. We want to hear from you. We want to help you. And I'm sure that your life, your story is going to change. Well, you're going to hear a testimony now. And very soon we're going to come back interviewing our guest this evening. I'm sure that you are going to be enlightened and you are going to be blessed through this story. Stay tuned.
At the age of 15, I was in a relationship and I was abused. It seemed impossible for me to forgive him and also for me to start loving myself again. I started to hate him, and not only just hated him, I also started to hate myself. I didn't like who I was. I didn't know who I was. I didn't have an identity. And because of that, I started to have suicidal thoughts, and I began to change the outside appearance because I did not like what I saw in the mirror. So I began to shave my hair, and I also started to starve myself. And through this, I became more and more closed. I became very defensive, moody. Even at home, I wasn't a good role model at home. My relationship with my mother went from bad to worse. I started to blame her for what happened to me as well. And then after coming to the church, coming to the meetings and services, I learned how to build a relationship with God. And when learning to build a relationship with God, I learned how to love God. And after that, I started to learn how to love myself. The more I began to love God, the more I began to love myself and who I was. After 4 years, I managed to forgive him and also to start loving myself. And today I'm happy.
Well, my dear friend, these testimonies, they bring us joy, they bring us happiness. Personally, when we hear stories like this make us happy.
This is our salary. This is our joy. This is what we receive and feel happy. Because, for example, when a person testifies, we know that they come from the lowest pit, they were in suffering. So when they testify, it makes us feel good.
Yeah, because it shows that this person receives something. And that is what we want to bring you tonight. But of course, it doesn't make sense, Pastor Neil. I come to you and I tell you about a nice plate of food. I tell you about some ackee and saltfish.
Yeah.
Since you come here, did you eat ackee and saltfish?
I ate.
Huh? Imagine I come to you and I tell you about some nice food. You know, some nice steak. You imagine I tell you about it, or it worse about show you, because on the TV we are showing, no? You show the testimony to the person, oh, this person speak about this, this and that, and the person is there desperate. The person is there spending sleepless night. Well, my friend, we are coming now after this break, interviewing our testimony, and she's going to show you how you yourself will not only, hear or smell or see, but you are going to be able to be a part of it. So I want you to stay with us. We are going to go to a break now, and we are going to come back. This is Finding Answers. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Finding Answers, my dear friend. And if you have been channel flicking and you are tuning to us now, well, it's not by chance. You are in the right place, because our guest, Louise, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Good evening, Louise.
Good evening.
How are you this evening?
Very well, thank you.
So now at some minutes past 11.
Yeah.
Would you be channel flicking some time ago?
Yeah.
Or you just find something and leave it there? What would you do?
Both, mixture. Sometimes I'll just, see what's on, but by that time, just background noise, really.
Just background noise.
Yeah.
Well, my dear friend, this is not going to be a background noise for you. You're going to be able to overcome if you are a person really that struggles with sleepless night. Louise is going to share her story with us. We have Pastor Neil as well.
Yes.
Good evening, Pastor Neil.
Good evening.
I'm sure that this is not going to be a background noise in this
No.
person. It's going to help this person. It's going to make a difference. So, Louise, how was your night? How was your life? Tell us about your experience. What you used to experience?
For many years, since I was really young, it would just be a challenge for me to fall asleep. Sometimes I would just lay there. I would have the radio on, the TV on. Everything would just be on, apart from the lights. But it was a very big struggle for me to fall asleep for many years.
When you say early age, like from what age?
To be honest with you, as far back as I can remember, but honestly speaking, I could probably say maybe from the age of 6, 7, but it was just for so long that I can't even put a specific age on it. So but from, I'd say as young as 6, that's when I really could start to remember not being able to sleep.
Okay, and then this went on for quite a long time.
Yeah, it went on for many, many years. To be honest with you, if I calculate off the top of my head, at least 15 years.
At least 15
Yeah.
years. So tell me, what was your night like? Describe for this person, what was your night like?
So it kind of varied, because for many years I shared a room with my brother. So I would literally just have the radio on and I would just be laying there. And because where my bed was, it was facing a window. So sometimes I would just look outside the window and I would just be there with my eyes open. And even though in my head I had school the next day, I know I needed to get to sleep. So what would I do? I would literally toss and turn back and forth, just rocking myself like a mother would to a baby to try and get to sleep. And eventually I would get to sleep. But I'd usually have the music playing in the background, or there'll be the light from the TV. So yeah, there was always something on as a form of comfort. I could never just sleep in like silence.
So you're actually rocking?
I would physically shift myself back and forth to rock myself to sleep.
And you know, Pastor Raymond, that many people, as very important what she's saying, many people, they think that not to sleep is normal.
Yeah.
For example, if you check right now, there are people in China that has this sleepless night. People all over the world, they are facing the problem. I believe you said it at the beginning of the program. But for many, they think that it is normal.
So I'm sure that, Louis, as you say, as early as you can remember, as a child we don't really, but I mean, you started to remember and then you start to become in your early teens. Yeah. Did you think that you have a problem?
No, not at all. Because even for me, sometimes in these sleepless nights, when I would finally get to sleep, I would have nightmares. And with these nightmares, I remember there was one particular one that I would have on and off for at least 9 years. But for me, it was normal. You know, I didn't see a problem with it because I didn't know that was wrong. I didn't know that, oh, I'm not supposed to have nightmares. As far as I'm concerned, my neighbor has nightmares, you know, family members.
Became like a part of your life.
Exactly.
Because you are so used to it. It's like you're something that you grew up with.
Exactly.
So when did it start to become a problem? When did you start to see a problem in it?
To be honest with you, only until I came to the place of faith where I realized what I was going through was not normal. To be honest with you, there were certain times where I would have dreams and I would wake up in tears. You know, I would literally just be in hysterics, not knowing what to do. But again, it was that moment of tears, but then eventually it was almost like crying was a form of relief. So when I cried, I would sleep like a baby.
Did it have any effect on your schoolwork?
Not in terms of my schoolwork, because I was very good in terms of academically, especially in my GCSEs. However, because of this particular dream, I was actually scared to walk in a particular area around my house, because the dream would consist of me walking through this particular place. And because of that, I actually avoided walking through that place for many years. I could not walk past there.
In your own house?
Yeah, not in my own house, but in my area. So I would literally shake at the thought of walking. And because I had friends who lived in that area as well, I would have to divert and walk a different place. It was, especially when it got to nighttime, I said, I am not walking there. I couldn't, I would shake. My friends would be like, oh, let's go this way. I'd be like, I can't. So that had an effect on me in my day-to-day life.
So this nightmare became a part of your life. Was it scary? Was it? Well,
it was very tormenting because it was, again, because it had elements of real life in my dream, in my nightmare, it was very hard to distinguish what was real and what was not real. Sometimes even when I was in the nightmare or in the sleep, I would feel like I was being pressed down, or it was a thing where it was like I was sinking. Like I'd just fallen, let's just say you've fallen out of a plane, but you had no rope. It just felt like I was falling. So it became very real to the senses. So when I was awake and I was walking through certain areas, I'd be like, am I dreaming? Am I not dreaming? It was that play of the mental, you know.
Louise, did you speak to anyone about this?
No, the funny thing is I didn't. Again, because it was just something that I convinced myself was normal.
You grew up with it, so it was like, so you didn't see the need?
No, and the thing is, especially with me, I was someone who didn't really speak much about things I'd go through or emotional battles. I was someone who bottled a lot of things in, just in different ways. So this was just another thing that I kept inside.
But did any of it come out at any time? Like?
Well, yeah, to be honest with you, because I was frustrated. And even at one point, for example, when I went on holiday, I had to share the same bed as my mum. I ended up beating her up in my sleep.
Beating her up?
Yeah, she woke up with scratches, everything on her. And I said, Mum, what happened? And she was like, Louise, you did this to me. And I felt so bad because it was completely out of my control. But again, I felt so helpless. I didn't know. I'm so sorry.
And what was her reaction? Was she like concerned, or was she like?
She was very sympathetic, you know. She was just like, don't worry, you know, it wasn't your fault, you know. But I don't know how she was feeling because I didn't even ask her, really, to be honest with you. I was just so, you know, kind of distraught at what I had done without even realizing I had done that. You know, I had moments where I would sleepwalk and I would just go into the bathroom and run the water. So I could only imagine what my mum was facing in her mind, but she never voiced that for me, like to me.
Like she never get upset with you?
No, she would never like be frustrated. You know, she was the mother, you know, she was strong for me. So, But I can only imagine what was going through her mind when these things happened.
Did you ever speak to her afterward about it?
Oh, no.
Like now when you have overcome it, have you?
Do you know what? It's so funny because a few years I did bring it up with her. I was like, Mum, do you remember? She was like, no, I don't even remember. So, you know.
So maybe it became a part of your life, and even she think that that's my child. Maybe some people, Pastor Neil, there are certain things that they don't address because first of all, they don't know how to address it.
Exactly.
They don't know what to do. They don't know how to deal with it. It's something that is unknown. They just don't touch it because they don't want to go into that. They just learn how to cope with it. And maybe you, my dear friend, you know someone that is, you know, that you see, that you observe going through this. Just imagine, Louis, you sleepwalk. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
You are there going out without your conscience. You can do anything. You can turn on the pipe. You could turn on. You could cause a lot of damage. It's dangerous. But as I said, maybe the person don't address it because they don't know what to do. It's something strange. It's a no-go zone. For some people, it's taboo. Some people think that this is just crazy things. But until you experience it, until you come in contact with it, so you can dismiss. But I want to address people tonight that either have someone dealing with who face the situation or you yourself, you are facing the situation. My dear friend, your life, your story doesn't have to be like this. And Louise, you said that you understood that only by coming and learning, right?
That's correct.
You learned that you didn't have to be like that. So that thing that was taught to you, because we learn things in life. So you learned that throughout the course, it was normal.
Yes.
Then you unlearned that, the information. I'm sure that you saw people also that overcame, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And one thing that was really important was I had to be open about it as well. Especially coming to a place where I was able to speak about problems that I'd been going through. And even this is something that happened again at the beginning, especially when I first came. And by that time, because I was in a different place, I had learned that things was not normal. I also knew that, okay, I had to address the problem as well. I had to overcome this fear and, you know, and I just simply spoke about it. And yeah, so that really helps because sometimes you think in your head you're the only one going through it. No one is going to understand.
But Louis, just go back a little because I remember you said you shared the room with your brother, right?
Yeah.
And him, how was he? Was he older than you or younger than you?
Slightly older, yes.
Slightly older.
Years,
so
yeah.
How was the situation then when you have the TV, the radio, or whatever sound you have and you are...
He didn't mind. He didn't mind at all. You know, I think even part of him was going through it as well. I don't know.
So he was facing the same situation.
Yeah,
so,
you know, I think...
So in that room, that was the norm.
Yeah, that was the norm.
Because for sure, it must have been normal to him because for someone to have a radio and have a TV on. And I'm trying to sleep, I must...
Yeah.
It became whether because of you, he became used to it or he had the similar thing, but for sure, it must have become a norm for him. Did you not speak to him?
No, what about what I was going through? No.
You just kept everything to yourself?
Yeah, that's kind of how it was. It was just, you get on with things and just don't deal with things. You just move on. And that's how it was. Yeah, that's literally how it was.
Well, Louis, I would like you now to think about, of course, you spoke about that time with your mom, and I believe that must have been one of the... But I want to think about something that really could have been one of the worst, the lowest point in your life, because we are going to go to a break shortly.
Okay.
But you are going to come back and you're going to share with people what you experience and how you manage, how you really overcome, because that's what this person really wants. This person wants to overcome. So my dear friend, Louis is going to finish sharing her story with you, how she overcame, because that's what you want. I spoke about it in the beginning. Doesn't make sense you hear about a food or see a nice food or smell a nice food without being able to enjoy it. She's going to share with you how she managed to overcome. Towards the end of the program, we are going to be doing a prayer with you as well. So I would like you to stay in touch. If you are this person that is facing this situation, send us an email, help@findinganswers.tv, or you can call right now 020-7686-6300. That's the number that you can call. And someone is there at the end of the line ready to receive your call, to speak to you, to help you, or to get you in touch with us. Why not? Because the same way Louise got help, you are able to get help. Don't think that is normal. If you have learned that this is normal, that's a part of your life, tonight you are hearing something different. If you have tried, maybe you have tried different things, different ways to overcome. Of course, we do advise people, go to the doctor, seek professional help, seek counseling, seek advice. But when you have tried all of that, you have done everything that you know how to do, and nothing works, then my dear friend, let's deal with the root of the problem, because you are going to be able to overcome. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with our live guest in our studio tonight. Welcome back to Finding Answers. We have been speaking about sleep deprivation, and our guest, Louise, has been sharing her story with us. Louise, I would like you to share with this person now, what was one of the worst point of your life? The lowest point?
So in regards to me not being able to sleep at night is when I was at uni the first time round. Obviously in combination with having to stay up late to study and to do your work, it was just very difficult for me to sleep at night in general, many distractions, but that didn't help my situation at all. It made it 10 times worse. So I would be up through all hours of the night, but then when it came to the time where I'm supposed to be up, going to lectures, I would miss because I would oversleep. I would just be tired and feel fatigue throughout the day, and it affected my studies. And even at one point, I was so tired, so gone throughout the day, that people were able to break into my dorm where I was sleeping and be in my room and I still be fast asleep. People were really worried about me because they were like, where have you been all day? I was flat cold. So it was a thing where I'd be up all hours of the night, but during the day I'd be tired, I would be sluggy, I'd be slow, I wouldn't be able to be productive in my studies. And as a consequence, I ended up getting kicked out.
You got kicked out of uni?
I got kicked out of uni, yes. I had to repeat my first year twice and failed again the second time. And they said to me, look, you've had your chances, your time's up, bye. And I said, but what about my degree? They were like, well, you can try again next year, but as of now, no. So, bye.
And what did that do to you? Oh. Your inside, your self-esteem?
It ruined me. Like, the little bit of self-esteem I had left was completely gone. I lost all hope for my future. I lost my dreams. A lot just kind of went down the pan.
And your family, how was the reaction?
They were so shocked. They were devastated. Why? Because...
Did they understand, or did they just say you don't want, or you have been disappointing them?
I think it was a mixture of things, because they saw that I really tried. They saw how much effort I put in, and I was known as the A-grade student. So for them, it was a very big shock to them. Nonetheless, they were really supportive of me, especially my mother. Well, both of them, my mother and my father, they really motivated me to get back into uni and, not to give up. But it was very hard for them, to be honest with you.
So, Louise, now tell me, what do you believe was really behind this problem?
Well, to be honest with you, I really believe that it was spiritual.
Now you come to this.
Now I come to the understanding.
But
yeah.
Before you.
To be honest with you, I think there was just so many different factors that I could have pointed it to. I could have maybe said, oh, maybe it was my diet, the things that I was eating. It may have been, so many different things. But having said that, I really believe that it was spiritual. Why do I say that? Because things changed. It didn't remain the same, especially after I was invited to this place of faith. I started to see differences. Even that nightmare that I was having for so many years on and off, I remember having it one more time, and then it ended differently. The dream ended differently, and from then I never had that same dream again. So it was just certain things that I was receiving. I was receiving prayers, you know, I was having people to talk to that I could just speak about. And it's so funny because I even had the opportunity to share and found out that someone else was going through almost the exact same thing that I'd been going through. So for me, it really helped me to understand and made me to believe that it was really spiritual.
So you understand, you believe that by finding faith in God and the teaching, the prayers, the help that you receive,
Yes.
addressing the spiritual side, the spiritual root of this problem, so you believe that this has changed your life.
100%. 100%.
So, Louise, when you were speaking about your brother, I
Yeah.
remember, because you said that maybe as the same, you spend time together, right?
Yeah.
And he saw you.
Yeah.
He saw you during the night. He knows how you were, what you have been going through. It's not.
Yeah.
And look, if your brother is watching now, and like other people that may be familiar with someone who has faced this situation, whether they have this problem or someone that they know, they see personally going through this problem,
Yeah.
what can you say to this person? Because some people might think, no, but she's saying this, or you know, that person it might seem childish, nightmares, and people have. What can you say to this person who has someone, maybe like your mom, who sees someone suffering, or this person themselves that is going through this problem? What can you say to this person?
First and foremost, I would say don't be scared. I know what it's like to live in fear, and it's better to address, you know, even if it's not what you're going through, there's no harm in asking questions and finding out what am I actually going through, what am I experiencing. And second of all is, speak about it. You know, there is a solution. Like if I overcame, I'm not anyone special, but if I overcame, you can too. And at the end of the day, sleep is something that is so important. Like I really value my sleep. Why? Because it contributes to so many things, to how I'm productive throughout the day, you know, how my mind is, especially with mental health, like just shooting through the roof amongst young people. Sleep is so important. And if something is affecting your sleep, you know, it's important to discuss it.
For sure. We advise people to do that. Of course, speak to the professional, but seek help, because help is at hand. How are you today?
Well, some people say I sleep a bit too much, but honestly speaking, like I'm free and just I don't know what more to say, you know.
It's like you are taking back all the sleep that you...
Literally catching up on this time, 100%, yes.
Okay. And then how is your work? Are you working? Are you studying?
Yeah, so I'm working. I managed to get back into uni and I graduated at one of the best unis. So that was a very big achievement for me and I'm so happy about that. Because, you know, it's just being able to let people know it doesn't matter if you failed before, like, you know, you can have a second chance. I'm working, I'm doing a job that I love, self-employed as well. So, yeah, just really making use of what I have been given. So, yeah.
Amen. So, Louis, thank you very much for sharing your story with us tonight. It has really been a blessing.
Yes.
Thank you.
And Pastor Neil, I'm sure that many people have been inspired.
Many that they even thought that I'm going to live with this for more years. Now they receive the solution.
My dear friend, the solution has arrived. You are going to overcome. Right now, we're going to our section called Your Questions. Like Louis said, speak about it, ask. Send us your questions. Get in touch with us. help@findinganswers.tv. You can send an email addressed to me, Pastor Raymar, or to Pastor Neil, or any one of us. We're here to help you. 020-7686-6300 is the number that you can call. You can find programs. You can contact us on Facebook. You can go to YouTube, Finding Answers. You're going to find programs there. My dear friend, don't stay alone. Don't suffer alone. Louise shared her story. We're going to go now to answer your questions, and I'm sure that your life is going to change. So, welcome to our new section, Your Questions, where we aim to answer your questions, of course, from a point of view of faith, from what we believe, from the conviction that we have, and also from the experiences that we have seen, like the testimony of Louise that we have just seen. Louise said, ask. If you're in doubt, ask. If you are not sure, seek help. And that is what we're doing. We have some people who have been sending us their questions, Pastor Neil.
Yes.
And our aim is to answer these persons as honestly and as openly as possible.
Because they are looking for an answer. And this, as the name of the program, finding answers.
So we are going to find the answer. Pastor Neil, stay here. I'm going to go over to see what is our question for today, my friend, because I'm sure that it's going to help a lot of people. So our question for today. What do you think the main reason is that my faith is small? How do you become big in faith? Laura from West Sussex. Pastor Neil, what is the reason for a person's faith being small?
The Bible said that even if your faith is small as a mustard seed, you can do great things. It's not about the size of the faith. Because faith is something that it generates what does not exist. So, as what's her name, Laura?
Laura.
It's not about the small faith, Laura.
I think what you really want to find out is the quality, because there's a difference between size and quality. Mm-hmm. You know, like Pastor Neil said, the size, Jesus said, the size of the faith doesn't matter. But of course, the quality matters. And you know, Pastor Neil, it's very easy to understand. Yes. Let's use the analogy of the muscle. Any muscle will not lift any weight. Yeah. And we know that.
Yes.
And we know that any kind of faith will not solve any kind of problems. It needs quality. It can be small, but Jesus said it must be quality. So just like muscle, I have the same number of muscle that guy has that does bodybuilding that you see. It's the same number of muscle.
Yes.
The same muscle, but what's the difference? The guy work on his muscle. The guy goes to the gym. The guy push weight. The guy does
exercise night and day.
Exactly. So his muscle develop.
Yes.
And then when he goes to lift up, some kgs, that would be difficult for me. It's nothing for him.
Yes.
But why? Because of the experience that he have, pushing that weight, over and over and over and over. If I try to do it, it's going to be almost impossible. But you see, that's what experience does. Experience, when you put your faith in action, when you practice your faith, when you address problems, when you deal with issues, when you face, just as Louise was saying, she opened up, she realized, she confronted, she faced it, and then she was able to overcome. But this faith that she used to overcome that problem was already there inside of her. So the faith was awakened by what she heard. The Bible says faith comes by hearing the word of God. You awaken your faith, and by applying it, your faith becomes a quality faith. And that must be your aim. My advice to you is don't aim to have a big faith. No, my faith is not as big as someone else. No. Aim to have a quality faith. And you get a quality faith when you exercise it, when you develop it, when you feed it with the word of God. And then it's going to be able to move any kind of mountain. So let's take a look at the next question that we have for this evening. Let's go over and see. How do I use faith to change my life? This from Henry in South London. Well, let's address this. As we have started out by speaking about faith and the size and the quality of faith. Pastor Neil, a person that wants to use faith to change their situation, the first step that they have to do is to believe.
Yeah.
It's to believe that the situation will change.
Because the mistake what many people they're making is this. They want to conquer. Let's say they want to take possession of this. And they said, I feel like I can get this. And then years pass, they don't get, and they convince themselves that feel like is belief.
Exactly. People mix up the real belief. When a person says, I believe I can get this, I believe I can solve this problem, I believe I can do this, then you are going to take the steps towards what you want. So if you have tried many things to solve the problem and it didn't solve, let's go back to the story of Louise. Even though she didn't try because she didn't know that something was wrong, but The moment that she realized that something was out of place, so what she started to do? She started to put into practice. She started to find out, she started to speak. So you, my dear friend, that you have tried many things, you have wanted a change in your life and you have not seen, then now is the time to go to another level. Maybe your problem is spiritual and you are trying to solve a spiritual problem with physical means. Then it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You need to apply faith in a spiritual level. And that's why we are here to help you. That's why it is called Finding Answers. Every night we bring stories to you to show you people that manage to change their life by putting their faith in action. Maybe one thing that you can do is pick up the phone and give us a call. That is faith in action. So you are going to speak to someone directly. They are going to give you advice. If you would like to get in touch with us, with me, we can get in touch with you personally. Help at Finding Answers. Send us your email. That's a step. That's practical. That's something that you can do that is going to help your life, your situation to change by faith. We believe. That's what we are here to pass on. I believe, and I'm sure that if you believe as well, your life, your situation will change. Pastor Neil.
So that's it. That's what the person have to do. Take a step. It's not to feel like I can get it. Feel like will not solve it.
It's not only one. The person need to act. Faith need action. Let's put it like this. Act on what you believe. You believe that Jesus can help you, give your life to him. Let him change your life. You believe that the word of God is true, put it into practice. If you say, I believe that I can, go ahead and do what you believe that you can do, and then you are going to see the difference in your life. Well, my dear friend, this has been our section, Your Questions. Please email us your question. Get in touch with us. If it's something personal that you would like to speak to us about, then you can put there. You can email, you can open up. Maybe you have a lot of things inside of you. Maybe it's not even something that we can bring to the program and share with everyone. But one thing I can say to you, most times when one person has a problem, someone else has the same problem. And that's why we share these questions with you, because one person question, you can be sure that many people suffer with the same doubt as well, and it clarifies and helps many. So keep on sending us your questions, please, because it's going to help a lot of people, not you alone. And when you give, you always receive. We're going to take a break, and after that, we're going to come back to pray for you at the foot of the cross, where you're going to be able to find help and solution and strength for your faith. Stay with us. Welcome back to Finding Answers, and thank you very much for joining us. And I'm sure that your time that you spend with us this evening has been well invested, and you're going to be rewarded even more, because we are going to be praying now at the foot of the cross. I believe that through prayers, you can receive help. Of course, Louise spoke openly that she received prayer. She received help. She realized that she didn't have to go through what she was going through. And then she applied. She opened up herself and she received help. When we open up ourselves to God, my dear friend, we are opening up ourselves to the one that can really help us. The one that is not going to disappoint. The one that never fails and is not going to fail you. Pastor Neil.
And you know what called my attention? She suffered for, she said, 15 years. Almost 15 years. So she have all the rights to just give up. To just says, okay, let me just live like this because it's over 10 years.
Yeah, imagine. The person could, imagine coming and hear someone speaking about overcoming. The person could say, that is my life.
Yes.
It's like sometimes when we speak about people who are addicted, people who are depressed, people who are going out, they think like this, but it's what I choose, it's what I want. But my dear friend, we are addressing people that really want a change. Whether you have been trying to change for a long time, or whether just by listening to Finding Answers like Louise, by coming and hearing that there's a way out, there's something different. Maybe this program is the one that sparked the light inside of you. Maybe you have been trying different things for a long period of time. We are speaking to you. And not only you that have sleepless night, not only you that you struggle with, sleeping and stuff like that. I'm talking about any single problem that you may have, because faith is not limited to one problem or the other. The faith that we are talking about, the faith in the God that we are talking about, my friend, it can change your life. It's great. It can make a difference. It can revolutionize your life and your story. And that is the reason why we are going to be praying with you now. At the foot of the cross, interceding on your behalf, because the Lord Jesus Christ died on the cross, and it's not in vain. It's not just for us to have songs. It's not just to have a movie that people can watch and cry and say, oh, what a nice person. No, my friend. It's for newness of life. It's to make a difference. Nobody would go through all of that just for some feelings, for some emotion. It must bring results in your life. Join us now at the foot of the cross and let us pray and determine that there's going to be a difference in your life.
If you would like us to make a prayer concerning your family and loved ones, send your name and prayer request to help@findinganswers.tv.
My Lord and my Father, in the name of your Son and our Savior, Jesus Christ, we come before your presence, and I have people with me that are believing in this moment that they are going to receive help. They are going to receive an answer. They are going to receive a solution to the problem that they are facing. There are people that have called to ask us to pray for their family. There are people that are praying for their relatives. There are people that are praying for friends, for people that they know that are struggling, and they have been trying to help them, or they have tried to help them and they have failed. There are people that have people that they work among. There are people that have students, fellow students in their class, that they see that they're suffering and they don't know what to do anymore to help this person. But my God, I believe that through this prayer, through this intercession, you are going to help this person. Something is going to happen in this person's life. Maybe this person have been with us now for almost an hour, because the whole night, it has been nights and nights that they have cried, that they have tried, that they have drunk, that they have smoked, that they have tried so many things to fall asleep, my Father. But I believe and I determine that tonight, when we finish this prayer, this person is going to sleep. Something is going to happen in their life. They're going to recharge. They're going to be revived. They're going to receive strength to use their faith. They're going to get the strength to put this faith in action. Even if this faith has been so small, even if the problems, my God, have been so big and have made this person's faith look like a needle in the haystack. Yes, the problem have been big and dominating this person's life for the great majority of their life, or maybe all of their life. But right now their faith is going to grow, it's going to get strong. Your word reaches them. This program reaches them. This prayer reaches, my God, to heaven, and the answer come down to this person that they are looking for. And their life and their story is going to change. So right now I bless this person. I determine victory in the life of this person. Those who have been failing, those who have lost, it seemed like the end of the road for them, my God. They have lost job, they have lost their health, they have lost so many things, they have lost their family, they have been losing a lot. My God, help this person to start regaining. Just as old Louis said, now she regained, now she's even like catching up, now she's much further ahead. She's able to achieve, to recover what was lost. Help your people, my God, to recover those years that has been lost, because I'm sure that much, much more you are going to do in their life. You are going to surprise them. You are God of surprises. You are God that work, my God, in ways that we cannot even understand. And you are going to do this work in the life of this person. So I bless them in the name of the Father, the Son, and I bless them in the name of the Holy Spirit. And those who agree and those who believe, you can say, Amen. I receive this blessing and I am blessed. That is it. So my dear friend, you are blessed. And I'm sure that your life, your story is going to change. You have heard the testimony. I'm sure that something has happened through this prayer that you have received right now, and your life is not going to be the same. Pastor Neil, all this person needs to do now is take action.
That's it. Take a step of faith. It's like if I want something in the supermarket, I'm at home, I want it there. The owner of the supermarket will not bring it to me. And even if they do delivery, first I have to call. I have to do something. I have to take action.
Pastor Neil, we have made the call already. We prayed. My dear friend, you that you couldn't sleep, you are going to sleep.
Yes.
You that you are facing problems throughout your day, believe that tomorrow is going to be a different and a better day. Receive your blessing. Take possession of this blessing. It's yours. You join us tonight in this program. Like I said, it's not coincidence. You join us exactly for that. So you that you couldn't sleep, you're going to go to sleep. Maybe you say, Pastor, I've been sleeping a lot. I don't have a problem. But tomorrow we're going to take steps. If you'd like to get in touch with us, please send us an email, help@findinganswers.tv, or call us 020-7686-6300. Someone is waiting to get your call. And don't forget that you can catch up with our programs on YouTube, on Facebook, on all social media. Help@findinganswers, or Finding Answers. Sorry, if you type in YouTube, you'll find Finding Answers. You can watch our programs there, and you are going to be able to be enlightened, and you are going to be a blessing. All right? So, my dear friend, it has been a pleasure having you here with us, and we look forward to your company next time in Finding Answers. God bless you. Have a wonderful night.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.